So, like 2 weeks ago, I decided I wanted to start recording my thoughts on the movies I watch on the popular movie reviewing site Letterboxd. I thought this would be a cool way to more critically engage with the movies I watch, and I decided to do it while I was smoking a joint in my backyard. As a result, my first few reviews I have very little memory of. I wrote them while I was in the backyard, and it was of the most recent movies that I had watched. I thought it would be kind of fun to go over these reviews with you today, to see what I wrote for one, and also like if I agree with what I wrote when I was stoned, and see if I can parse what I was trying to say, and maybe even expand on it a little bit. The first review I wrote was for the Canadian film Ginger Snaps. I love this movie, and I'm really interested to see what I had to say about it in the backyard that day. So, when I started making this video, it was fully my intention to cover multiple of my reviews, but in the process of making the video, I kind of talked way too much about Ginger Snaps, so that's actually what this video is going to be. Also, as a quick warning, I do get into some spoiler territory for this movie. And because I don't really explain the plot in the video that I made, I will give a quick synopsis of the movie here for anybody who hasn't seen it before, so you can enjoy the video too. Ginger Snaps follows two suicide-obsessed teen girls as one of them gets bitten by a werewolf at the same time she has her first period. So it's kind of like a coming-of-age movie where periods and werewolf transformation are sort of analogous of each other. So without further ado, let's get into that video. The review is 5 stars and a heart and goes as follows. Iconically 2000s movie. One of my favorite coming-of-age films about depressed teens, which is maybe my favorite niche genre. Blows my mind that Emily Perkins didn't become a star from this role. One of my favorite performances in any movie ever. Also iconic wardrobe. I aspire to Bridget's style. As a Canadian girl who grew up in the suburbs, depressed and mentally ill, this movie represents my culture. So immediately on reading this, I pretty much agree with everything I have to say here. One thing that does weird me out a little bit is how I describe movies about depressed teens as my favorite niche genre, which I don't know if I would necessarily agree with. I think I was just really into I Saw the TV Glow when I was writing this, and I don't really know what other movies about depressed teens I love. I'll have to think about that. I absolutely do agree with myself still that this movie has a killer wardrobe. I mean, just look at this. They are slaying. And I do mean that genuinely. Like, I love this style. It's absolutely the type of thing I would have wore if I had that choice when I was this age. And even now, I am always wearing something knit and oversized and layered with combat boots. I'm not sure if me loving this style predates me falling in love with this movie, but at the very least, this movie helped me solidify my style, and it made me feel seen because it's so rare to see girls dressed like this in a movie. It feels rare to see teen girls especially wearing weather-appropriate clothes like this, and in a Canadian movie, it really adds to the ambiance and puts me in the world a lot more. I mean, look at how many layers Emily Perkins is wearing in this scene. She literally looks like those little kids wearing their puffer jackets. Just a marshmallow with 2 feet. On the topic of Emily Perkins, I do mention her performance in this movie, and again, I still agree with my stoned self. She did kill it. I mean, I have not seen many depictions of an angsty teen that really gets across the dejected and angry, like truly angry nature of being a depressed teen and angsty teen like this movie does.
You should definitely hang.
Maybe even your final moment's a cliche around here.
Not ours. B, ours will rock.
You don't think our deaths should be a little more than cheap entertainment?
Oh my God.
Okay. Trina Sinclair, DOA at the hair dye aisle. Perished while seeking matching barrettes on nothing but diet pills and laxatives.
Likes her shorts stuck up her ass crack.
Your standard cum-buckety date bait.
Bridget is just so exhausted with everyone she talks to. Even her sister, who she loves so much, she's cutting and sarcastic towards. This gives Bridget so much depth and fidelity as a character, because even though she's all cutting and sarcastic all the time, she still cares a lot about people. She cares about Ginger. She cares about Sam.
You give up now. You leave me here alone. I would never do that to you.
God, Ginger, get up. I'm sorry. Get up. Ginger.
You bitch! You want me? You want me? Stop hurting everybody else and take me! Take me!
A common pitfall I see writers who are writing children fall into is when they are trying to give these children depth as characters, they just end up adultifying the children and essentially writing them as adults but with a child actor. This does not happen with Bridget. Even with the depth she has as a character, we can tell throughout the story that she is clearly a child. I mean, look at how she can't even look Sam, this cute boy who started talking to her, in the eyes.
What the fuck was it?
It's what you hit.
I know. But what the fuck was it?
It's so relatable. This is absolutely how I talked to older boys when I was this age. And this is all thanks to the performance we get from Emily Perkins. I think that, like, so often characters like Bridget, these, like, angsty, depressed teen girls, like, goth-coded as well, they kind of get considered by the story as somehow inauthentic, as if their angst is unfounded. This trope was kind of solidified in Allison Reynolds from The Breakfast Club. Her character is this quote-unquote basket case, very clearly somewhat goth. She's this edgy, angsty girl, but her whole arc is about becoming a normal, pretty girl because the edginess is considered, like, not really part of who she is.
Don't be afraid. This looks a lot better. Look up.
Another really common trope for goth girls, and more broadly just goth characters, mostly women, is the sort of campy, over-the-top, and morbid performance that's most encapsulated by Wednesday Addams. We also see some of this trope in Nancy Downs from The Craft, Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd, and Tiffany Valentine in The Bride of Chucky. We as the audience understand that these are not morally good characters, but that's in part why we love them. With both of these tropes in mind, we can look at how Ginger Snaps plays with and subverts them. In terms of authenticity, Ginger and Bridget are never questioned. Their angst is never portrayed as a character flaw in need of fixing. Even in high-stress scenarios, they never drop kayfabe. They aren't pretending, they just are angsty, depressed, and goth girls. And I love that. That's so real.
You need to get this fixed.
Ginger Snaps also uses the larger-than-life, campy goth girl trope as a way to depict the growing distance between the two sisters. Ginger starts off the movie similar to Bridget in that her angst feels realistic and grounded.
Ginger, why are you rubbing your back? It hurts? Why?
Well, pain flows up your nerve endings to the synapses in your brain.
She's not funny.
But as Ginger starts to transform into a werewolf, we see her start to wrestle with becoming this other version of the goth trope.
Hello, Bridget. Stop it! Can I touch your boobies?
Ginger is struggling with becoming like the campy and morally gray goth characters that we love. This is contrasted with the performance of Bridget by Emily Perkins. Because of these diverging tropes, we as the audience can feel the pain that Bridget has as she watches her close sister become someone completely different. It's tragic.
Ginger, what the hell are you doing?
You smell yummy. What is that? Citrus or antiseptic?
I'm not sure. Are you crazy? Ah! Okay, that's enough. Just let her go.
Shut up! Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay, let's just chill, right, Trina?
You know what, Trina? She's doing your bone. I wouldn't be so quick to get so friendly.
Stop it. It's not like that.
As an audience, we get to feel Bridget's pain, the pain of losing a sister. At the same time, we get to enjoy another iconic take on the campy goth performance. So much of this is because of how Bridget is played by Emily Perkins. But what I don't mention in my review is that it's also only possible because of Catherine Isabel playing Ginger. So yes, I do agree with my stoned Letterboxd review, at least mostly. If you're realizing that this video is kind of just an excuse to talk a lot about ginger snaps, you would be absolutely correct. That is exactly what I just did. This is by no means an exhaustive list of everything I love about ginger snaps. I mostly covered things that were relevant to the review, but that was a cool jumping off point for discussion, and I hope you enjoyed.